What's up? Honor26 here to give you my first on-camera video in almost, or actually over 3 months. Some of you probably can tell why I did it before and didn't do it during the summer, and now why I'm back, but I don't have to mention the one word that starts with the letter C that people say I mention too much in my videos. But I'm also here to give you reviews of 4 shows. First 2 I got about 3 weeks ago and just got done watching. First one was PWG All-Star Weekend 8 Night 1, then PWG All-Star Weekend 8 Night 2, my second Dragon Gate show live, Mercury Rising 2011 on DVD, and then $5 Wrestling Live from WrestleMania 27 weekend, which is actually $5. But alright, let's just review them in the order that I've chosen. Alright, Night 1 PWG All-Star Weekend 8. This was the best of all 4 shows that I will be reviewing. And from top to bottom, this show is one of the best PWG shows I have seen, definitely since 7 last year, if not even longer than that. I remember I gave 7 like a 9.5, something like that. But this show is one of the most fun PWG shows I've had to sit through and just had the pleasure of watching in a very, very long time. And it was great, to say the least. I mean, you definitely need to pick this up. Opener, Willie Mack versus Kevin Steen. Very good match. It made Willie Mack look very strong, which PWG does a good job with their opening matches of making their homegrown talent look good, which Willie Mack is their latest guy that they do that for. So very, very good stuff here. Led a little bit into something later in the night based off of Steen wrestled 2 matches. So 3 1/4. Then we got to Brian Cage Taylor and Ryan Taylor versus Joey Ryan and Scorpio Sky. This match was good. Nothing more than that, though. I like the dynamic between Ryan Taylor and Scorpio Sky. Maybe they work together a little bit more than just PWG. That wouldn't surprise me. But outside of that, nothing much. 3 stars on the dot. Then we get to Kenny King versus Chuck Taylor. The worst match of the night, but that wasn't saying much because everything else was 3 stars or above. This match just had a weird dynamic to it because, I don't think these two probably hadn't wrestled before. Chuck Taylor's primarily a Chikara, Dragon Gate USA, and PWG guy, when Kenny King is mainly an ROH guy. So, it was kind of cool to see these two face each other because I'm big fans of both guys, but outside of that, nothing really here. I actually preferred Kenny King's match the next night with another guy who I'm pretty sure he never faced, but whatever. Then we got to a PWG, was this a tag team title match? I don't remember, but either way, it was Young Bucks versus RockNES Monsters. A very good match. I love the Young Bucks, love them. They're my favorite tag team currently, and I really like their style and how they work against different teams. The RockNES Monsters have the same kind of high-flying style that they do, so they use that very well, and then they just, use that against each other, and it made for a very good match, and I actually really liked it. Very easy to sit through, and this is probably outside of the match I gave 4.5 stars, the tag team match of the night. So, very good stuff there. Then we got the Cutler brothers, who I am big fans of, but kind of have been slumping lately, versus Austin Aries and Roderick Strong, who I am big fans of and glad to see teaming together again, at least for this weekend. Cutler brothers, I don't know, I'm glad it led to something in the next night of PWG, because they needed something like that to happen. If you don't know, haven't seen the DVDs, and I don't want to ruin it for you, or actually I think they cut it out of the DVDs, so they turned heel the next night, but whatever. And then Austin Aries and Roderick Strong, it's glad to see, it's good to see them back together. This was their basic tag title match they had in ROH 2006. So 3.5 stars. Then we got to Eddie Edwards versus Alex Shelley. I've always wanted to see this match. They did Guns versus Wolves never happened in a big promotion. It happened in 2CW, which is a Syracuse, New York-based promotion, the day after Final Battle 2010. I'm gonna say, yeah, it has to be 2010, based off of, yeah, it has to be. So I've never seen in a singles atmosphere between, I don't think I've ever seen Shelley and Richards either. I'm trying to think if I've ever seen it. I don't think so. So this is the first time I've ever seen a singles encounter between any one of them. And I really, really liked it. Very, very good stuff. It was just a sight to see because Alex Shelley really can still be a great, great wrestler when he's given the chance to. And this proved that. And Eddie Edwards has really shined up his game. He's doing great. 3 3/4 stars. Then we get to the best PWG match in a long, long time. El Generico and Ricochet versus Kevin Steen and Akira Tozawa. Now, you pretty much have 4 different home promotions for these guys. You have Generico's ROH, Ricochet Dragon Gate USA, Kevin Steen PWG, and Akira Tozawa in Dragon Gate Japan. So it was very interesting to see how they used all 4 of those styles, and I know Dragon Gate USA and Dragon Gate are very similar, because most of the same wrestlers work for the same companies. But there are differences. Same with ROH and PWG, even though ROH and PWG are a little bit more deciphered between each other. But, and this match had a little bit of a storyline in it with El Generico and Kevin Steen, and what happened in the opener. So that minor gripe I always have with PWG, that matches feel the same, was not true for this match. Akira Tozawa is the fucking man. And on top of that, all 4 of these guys just busted their ass. Great spots. Just an amazing, amazing match. And this match will make my top 10. I'm not exactly sure where yet. Based off of, I might need to rewatch it for that purpose only. Or I might decide by the time I actually upload this video. Which isn't going to be in a couple minutes after I'm done taping it. Yeah, just if you pick up this DVD for nothing else alone, pick it up for this match. It was just awesome to see. I don't want to ruin any of the spots. Just go out and see it. It was such an awesome match. Then you get the PWG World Title match between Claudio and Hero. About 5 to 10 minutes into this match, the rope breaks, or the top rope broke. So they played off of that, and it went a long time, and just great stuff between these two. Since they reformed the Kings Wrestling, they really hadn't had a big time singles match yet until this one. So it was good to see, and I really, really enjoyed it. 4 stars. Overall, this show gets an 8.9. Listen to me, a 9.0. An amazing, amazing show. Definitely pick it up. And sketching my face there. Just go away and see it. All right. Then we get night 2 for PWG. This show is a little bit worse for the reasons that I just think that well, one, they didn't have that 4.5 star amazing match, and then 2, they just, the card felt a little bit more stuck together in parts, I'll say. But anyway, this is still a great, great show. Opener was Brian Cage Taylor versus Kenny King. Good, decent opener. Nothing really to say about that here. Even though I like this match a little bit better than the Chuck Taylor, Kenny King match. Kenny King, did look a little bit more crisp here, so I like that. Outside of that, nothing really. Then we get to the RockNES Monsters versus Kevin Steen and Akira Tozawa. Thought by the live crowd to be Akira Tozawa's last live match in America, and then came out with Kevin Steen, came out with Kevin Steen to face the RockNES Monsters, and then Steen gave him a huge ovation after the match, which was very good in its own right. And then Hero, and then that led to a beatdown by the Young Bucks, and then Hero beat down the Young Bucks, and then challenged Akira Tozawa to one more match, and that led to later in the show. So we had to see Akira Tozawa 2. Then we got Willie, Mack, and Ricochet against each other. 2 very different styles here, even though they both are pretty good wrestlers. And it was very interesting to see how it worked. I thought that Ricochet looked a little sloppy in this match, and Mack did in parts as well. But Ricochet just looked a little bit off to me in this match for whatever reason. But anyway, still a good match. I still heavily enjoyed it. 3 stars. Then we get to the worst match of the night on this show: the Cutler brothers versus Joey Ryan and Scorpio Sky. Yeah, this just didn't work for me. And there was still good stuff in here, but it just didn't work with the heel versus heel dynamic, and I don't know why they did that. But outside of that, it was decent. Worst match of All-Star Weekend. Then we get to one of the 4 straight very good to great matches. The first one, Eddie Edwards and El Generico, second best match of the night, in my opinion. Second best match of the night. I'm actually gonna put this over the main event. Such great stuff here. These two hadn't had a long drawn out match since Eddie Edwards became world champion for Ring of Honor. So I really wanted to see this, and they really, really did a great job here. Generico is probably the most over guy in PWG, and he uses that to his advantage, and Edwards is definitely a newcomer in the company, so he uses that as well. So great stuff here, 4 stars. Then we get to the Young Bucks versus Austin Aries and Roderick Strong, a match that I always wanted to see. This is a little bit of a dream match for me because just how much I like the Aries and Strong tag team, as well as the Young Bucks. So this match had a very, very quick ending, and that's the only thing that held it back from being a great match for me. I think they were trying to set up before Austin Aries signed with TNA a rematch, and they might still do the rematch. I'm not sure, just because it felt like in a best of 5 series. This felt like the first match in that. this is how it felt. So there's that. Then we got to the match of the night: Chris Hero versus Akira Tozawa. I like this match better than their Bola match from 2010. It definitely was a great way to send off Tozawa. Which when I feel that the tag team match really didn't do outside of the Kevin Steen stuff. So I was glad he got to show it in ring. So all combined, it was an amazing send off for Tozawa. Hero was definitely the right guy to send him home against. Hero was just busted his butt, and it was Tozawa's first. It wasn't his first singles match in PWG, but it was his first big time one. So glad to see Tozawa just come full circle like that, and I already miss him in the United States. He is just the man. And I agree with what Kevin Steen said at in the beginning of this promo. Dragon Gate is fucking dumb if they don't make him the best in the world, honestly. But with a talent like that, you can't waste it. And then we get to the world title match: Claudio Castagnoli versus Low-Ki. Great stuff here. Low-Ki was originally supposed to face Alex Shelley the night before, and they had to switch some stuff around. It was supposed to be Eddie Edwards and Tozawa. So things were coincidentally there, because we wouldn't have gotten the Generico Ricochet versus Steen and Akira Tozawa match without it. But whatever. Just great stuff here between Low-Ki. Low-Ki really is coming into his own back on the independent scene, and I really want to see him go back to Japan. Actually, is what I think I think a huge run as either the New Japan or Noah Junior Champion would be the best thing for him right now. So just awesome stuff. 4 stars overall. This show gets an 8.75. Definitely pick this up as well. There's a lot of great stuff on here. Then we get to the Dragon Gate show. I actually attended the show live, Mercury 2011. Another great show. Of the actual in-ring wrestling show is the worst one on this review, but that's not saying much because the other 2 shows were both great and amazing. This show was great as well, and it had its parts, and the triple main event is incredibly strong, but there were some other things on the show that held it back. The first match was Jon Moxley versus Eric Cannon, the biggest thing holding it back. This opener was bland. This was not good. Not fun to watch. I'm big fans of Moxley and Cannon, but they just didn't work it here. I don't know what happened. I don't know. And just the post-match segment, just the delivery of that was just not very well done, and just, oh well. It kind of made up for it a little bit later in the night when Jon Moxley had his promo where he did very well with that, so there's that. Then we got to a 6-way elimination match: Brody Lee versus Jimmy Jacobs versus Silas Young versus AR Fox versus John Davis versus Stalker Ichikawa. Ichikawa is hands down one of the most entertaining things I've seen live in person, just with how he does things, and definitely one of the more original things I've seen. So he added to this match a ton. Then AR Fox added to this match as well. This is a big time showing from him. This and Best of the Best really put him over in my mind as one of the top guys who's improved his game or made his name known just in 2011 alone. Behind Michael Elgin, maybe just only Michael Elgin, in my opinion. And just on my favorite wrestlers list that I've seen primarily this year, Elgin is 1, Fox is 2, and then R.D. Evans, Archibald Peck character guy is 3. So definitely watch out for him. And now he has a lot of more Dragon Gate appearances, so that's good. Good job, Gabe, getting him. John Davis did very well here. I'm not the biggest fan of Silas Young, and I wasn't a big fan of Jimmy Jacobs in Dragon Gate USA, so they kind of took away from it a little bit, and then Brody Lee is a monster. So even though I love Jimmy Jacobs outside of Dragon Gate USA, I just didn't think he really worked in this company. So just a very good match, though. 3 stars, or 3.5 stars. Very entertaining live and very entertaining on DVD. Then we got to a match that I was skeptical about on DVD, because live it wasn't very good, but I was hoping it might have been good on DVD, however it wasn't. You have Masato Yoshino, who I love, versus Sami Callihan, who's also very good, but their styles just didn't work here. The venue also probably hurt this match more than any other, because Callihan tried to, use the, I guess, high-flying style of Yoshino and kind of sell that, but you could tell that it wasn't getting as much impact as it usually does because the ceiling was so low. So, it was weird for Callihan to adjust and Yoshino to do his moves. So instead of getting the height on the dropkick he usually does, he went out, which makes it a regular dropkick, which makes Yoshino, it's not Yoshino's dropkick. Still 2 3/4 stars, still kind of fun match to watch. Then we get to maybe one of the strongest triple main events this entire year. I'll go on record and say it's a stronger main event than both of the PWG shows I just reviewed, by far, too. Not really even close. And then first match was the Open the Brave Gate title match, which is the secondary championship Dragon Gate Japan. Pac versus Akira Tozawa. Great stuff here. This is where Tozawa really started to, in my mind, just pick up a lot of great matches. Great match after great match after great match he was having. And then Pac, I'd always wanted to see him live, and I finally got the chance to on this card, so that was good. Just these two styles, just I love them against each other. They were just so great because Pac is a guy who's his mat wrestling is underrated. I feel, but he's known for being the man who gravity forgot, the high flying, which he used in this match perfectly. And then Akira Tozawa kind of has the same role. He is known as just an all-around just beast, and his intensity is second to none. So they used that very well against each other in this match. 4 stars. Then we got to the match of the night. The Open the Gate Freedom Gate title match, Yamato versus Austin Aries. This was straight out of 2006 for Austin Aries. A basic match he would have for then. And Yamato is such a great champion. I really like his style. It's very different for a Dragon Gate guy. He's a little more methodical than usually a Dragon Gate guy usually is. And the storyline going into this match, for those that don't remember, was Austin Aries said he needed a purpose in Dragon Gate USA, and that purpose, the best purpose, is the Open the Freedom Gate title. And he'd leave after the next show if he didn't. And obviously you probably know what happens afterwards. But this was such a great match. You really felt not being a desperate champion from Yamato, but realizing that he couldn't put Austin Aries away, and he had to go over and just basically almost kill him to put him away, and that's what happened. Still, a lot of great drama in this match, and that's something I feel is missing from most Dragon Gate USA matches. So I loved this match. 4.25 stars, just missing my match of the year countdown, but it was still very, very, very great. And made this show very, very a must buy, for me. And then we got to the 6-man tag, this is the 5th annual one at WrestleMania weekend, and the first one where American talent is involved. And that's why I don't feel this is a true Dragon Gate. So it's the first ever Dragon Gate USA 6-man. Well, in reality, it's the second one, but we're actually third. But whatever. You get my point. Shima Nariki Doi and Ricochet versus Johnny Gargano, Chuck Taylor, and Rich Swann. So Blood Warriors versus Ronin. These two teams have a lot of great wrestlers against each other. Shima's the face of Dragon Gate. Doi is a monster. Ricochet is one of the best high flyers in the industry. Taylor does well against all 3 of them. So I imagine Rich Swann would, and then Gargano is one of the more underrated guys in the business today. So I really like this match live. This match, I remember Nightmare Brawl 1 saying to me, if this match is done right, it could be match of the weekend. And it could have been if it was done right. But there were some things that were lacking, even though this was still a great match. And the finish was botched a little bit, and it was just came off a little bit weak. But it was still a great match, and I still really liked seeing this live. So 4 stars overall. This gets an 8.5. Still pick this up. I thought it was very, very good. The co-main event is worth you seeing alone. Then the final DVD I'm going to review is $5 Wrestling Live from WrestleMania weekend. This DVD is $5 on High Spots, so it's definitely worth picking up. It was very, very good. What they do is they, if you've seen any of the other ones, they just review. It's known as wrestling that's so bad it's good. They kind of make fun of it a little bit, and come in and tell stories with his comic stand-up comedian friend Marty DeRosa, and they just play off of that, and it's very entertaining and very good. You have such wrestlers on here. You have Tracy Smothers in a match. You have King Kong Bundy, Jim Neidhart, Jimmy Snuka, Nikolai Volkov. And there are wrestlers like Sugar Dunkerton, Chris Hero, and referee Bryce Remsburg that come up special commentary, as well as Luke Gallows. So very good. And actually, I saw MB Wrestler and one or both of the members of Black Cat Feline in the crowd, which the crowd was actually very good here. So and it was very interesting to have a crowd like this at a live event like this. So they definitely added to the match for me, or added to the event for me. Pick this up. All right. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys later.